My video for June the 25th, 2018 is video number 3127. The title is The Pathway to Truth is by Faking It Till You Make It. Some of my friends insist that this world is just an illusion. Yes, this is an ongoing issue for me. Some of them even insist that we must fake it till we make it, as if the reality we want can be achieved by lying to ourselves. Of course, they do not see it as lying. To them, it is claiming a higher reality, a place where our eternal spirit dwells since the beginning of creation, which they say all happened at the same time. Physical manifestation is a trick of our senses, a manipulation of what we think is reality. True reality does not exist in the 3D world at all. This idea haunts me. If true, we have to imagine the other world, the higher dimension, or even worse, die in this one to get to that one. Is our life merely a staging ground to see if we are worthy to get into the real world where we were created in the beginning? Is everything a test? Is pretense the pathway to actuating our divine self? Would a loving creator really do this to his children? For me, that is not love at all. It brings up many thoughts, not of love, but of a cruel and merciless God. How can I be delivered from the mind chatter that keeps me imprisoned by my own thoughts? Once again, I had another one of my friends recommend John Pinella's series of books, The Divine Secret Garden. And I have listened to book 2 all the way through, and will probably, actually I listened to one part of it twice, the latter part. I listened to that twice, and I've begun listening to the first part because another friend recommended this series to me. And the series paints the world as simply an illusion of 3D reality, or the 5-sense reality. And our 5 senses do not tell us the truth. The 5 senses perceive the physical world that we live, but that world, the physical world, is not the real world. The real world is the one that exists beyond, the one that we can sense with our 6th sense, if you will. I know you've heard me say that before. And some people say, Ron, no wonder people stop listening to you, because you keep repeating yourself. You keep repeating the same things, because we as humanity, like me as an individual, have an issue with the world that we live in, trying to make sense out of a system where the people at the top of the pyramid, if you will, keep enriching themselves, but they do so through killing and war and deception. They lie with no sadness. I mean, there's no empathy even for those that they've totally killed and destroyed their lives. Even if they are survivors of the destruction around them, their lives have been totally devastated by the actions of these charlatans who make profit from war. And if it's just an illusion, it doesn't seem so from our perspective as human beings. So the whole human manifestation process, that is becoming a physical being, is meaningless, is absolutely without merit. Why bother going through lifetimes of imprisonment? And the imprisonment is in our mind, even if it doesn't exist in our individual experiential reality. We are still imprisoned by a three-dimensional world that isn't real. But it feels real. It looks real. It sounds real. And all of our senses tell us it is real, except our sixth sense, which tells us there has to be something more. I want the something more. And I want it to manifest in a physical manifestation, not an ethereal manifestation. Now, I don't know what the ethereal world is like because my consciousness is surrounded by a physical manifestation that feels and looks. It's real to me. It's real to most everybody else. And this is the world that I, right now, Ron Van Dyke, in the 21st century, have to deal with. And so does every other human being that exists on this planet at this time. We all have to deal with this. Is there going to be a shift? Is there going to be a correction where good people, people with honest intentions and motives that uplift the motive to uplift everyone on the planet, to bring humanity to a higher state of consciousness, and more importantly, even than just a higher state of consciousness, a higher experiential reality where we can experience the love of God. But some people even say God is a misnomer, that the whole concept of God is an insane proposition. You've got beings that were part of creation itself, angels or whatever you call them, that became demons. And these fallen creatures claimed divinity, claimed to be God, and let us make man in our image. And so they manipulated the creation from the beginning. Now, is the manipulation turning an ethereal reality into a 5D experience? I'm sorry. Yeah, a 5D, a 3D experience, also a 5D being the five senses. They say fifth dimension is a higher dimension, so I maybe misspoke when I said 5D. But in any case, you get the drift, maybe, I hope. You must understand, if you're understanding me at all, that I'm trying to make sense out of nonsense. I'm trying to find answers that bring peace and not this continual sense of frustration of trying to establish on Earth a reality that some say can't exist on Earth because Earth itself is an illusion. It's flat, it's a globe, it's hollow, it's all an illusion. Or correctly, a delusion. We are deluded by the physical world, made to think that this is all there is. But according to some, free will cannot be violated. So we have to have a choice to come to this world. We don't come here because somebody made us come here and forced it upon us. We all in the other realm have a choice whether to come back or not. And of course, I'm sure the presentation is one of deception, because everything in this world, it is based on a deception. When are we going to get to the real truth? When are we going to get to experience truly everlasting life that is not riddled with lies and that we don't have to fake anything? Many questions. What do you think? Thank you for listening, and namaste.